Hey guys, what's going on? Just a little update. After the review, I'm going to have a little bit of an announcement. So stay tuned after the credits if you're interested. Thanks, guys.
Hello, Internet. What's going on? I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. Welcome back to another Rich Review.
You know, that sounds an awful close to Witch Review. Which sounds almost like Bitch Review.
But before we start,
Well, it sort of makes sense.
let's give you a recap of the show.
Because, you know, use my bitch.
Behave yourself, Lacondon. We're halfway through the volume.
Yep, we're already halfway done with the first volume of RWBY, which is not too surprising considering how short the episodes were. And in the previous one, we were finally given some action after it pretty much being absent since the first episode. We saw RWBY and the gang reach the relics just before being attacked by two large Grimm. I'm guessing that the yearly student death toll at this place is pretty damn high.
Ah, safety's for pussies.
After splitting into two teams, they defeated the beasts and claimed their prizes. Back at the school, it turns out that their decisions also pleased the god of irony and fate, as Ruby Rose, Wei Schnee, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolong were formed into the narcissistically named Team RWBY, as well as Jean Arc, Nora Valkyrie, Pyrrha Nikos, and Lai Ren were formed into the team titled Juniper. Both Ruby and Jean were made into team captains, and now the school year truly begins. Oh, also, something seems to be happening with the main plot, but Rooster Teeth doesn't seem to be worried about developing that right now.
Yeah, who needs story when you got guns and titties?
Where their focus is developing these characters, which, like I've said before, is Rooster Teeth's strong point.
We've so far seemingly gotten stereotypical characters, but on closer inspection, we can tell that each has more going on than just a cliche role, like protagonist, virgin, bitch, yandere, waifu bait, and American.
Listen, Ryan, from another waifu fan, I know you love her, but you need to understand. She was animated. Paid to love you.
And while we had some fun last time, it looks like we're going back to the High School Musical Anime Edition. So now let's take a look and see if the show will continue to be good, or if it will turn out to be a high school dropout. Lacondon, roll the clip.
Yep. Wake up, bitch!
Well, we're off to a roaring start.
Good morning, Team RWBY!
Yes, it's their first official day as students, which is why I guess they slept in the gym last time. They weren't students then, they just were a bunch of hobos squatting in the school, which is good for husband, I guess, because that meant he could write it off his taxes. Anyways, our four girls here share a single room.
Don't even think about it.
Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
And now that they're all awake, they decide to set up their dorm as RWBY continues to annoy Weiss like that one puppy who wants to play, but he got shit to do, but he can't get mad at that face, it's too damn cute. So they strike a pose.
Bonsai!
Look, we're doing some Japanese things, we are an anime! And begin to unpack. They throw up some art, ensure they won't get their deposit back, blatantly place some in-joke posters, and of course hide their porn. But upon seeing that they now have no room to fit their beds,
There we go, that's more accurate to college.
they decide to make some bunk beds.
Objective complete.
That'll work. Let's face it, people, some of us have had it worse. If anybody needs me, I'll be in my room. However, they suddenly noticed that the short time frame of an unpacking montage only applies to us. And it took them much longer than they thought. For now, they have to race to class, which starts in 5 minutes.
Oh, good. I thought we weren't going to get the running late for class cliche.
As they run out the door, we see that their friends Team Juniper are not only right across the way, but that these are co-ed dorms.
I could try to stop you, but I know it's not going to matter. You're still going to say something perverted.
It isn't as good as 4 girls or 3 girls, 1 guy, but at least it's not a sausage fest.
Moving on.
The two teams rush off to class, passing by Glinda and Ozpin, the latter who seemingly doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, God, I think I just created a meme.
Dad, I just won first prize at the science fair.
I don't give a fuck.
Dad, I just got my dream job working at the greatest company in the world.
I don't give a fuck.
Dad, the school's on fire and one of the students just got impaled.
Son, I just said I do not give a fuck. Ah, good memories. Good memories.
Use as you please, Peter Pie and Gifts with Sounds. We can always use more RWBY gifts.
Particularly ones like this.
More bounce, 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 bounce,
Anyways, they make it to class where their teacher, Professor Port, begins by giving them a lecture on the Grimm. You spelled Edgar wrong. Thought you of all people would know since you're the one who put him in the hole. This overly charismatic professor with a mustache, who might very shortly be having some sexual harassment lawsuits against him, continues to talk about how awesome he is.
A story. A tale of a young, handsome man. Me.
Well, he's put on some weight and clearly later on in his years, but I'm glad to see that Professor Lockhart found some work. Though I guess schools with terrible safety standards can't be too picky.
However, as this mad monarchical professor continues to ramble on, Weiss again begins to become upset at Ruby, who is clearly not paying attention. I don't know what Weiss was expecting. Even at the most prestigious school, I'm sure they still have at least 3 idiots that goof off in class and still somehow graduate.
Hey, you're young only ones. Party hard, my amigos.
Well, Weiss is clearly one of those overachieving, brown-nosing, tattle-telling teacher's pets. As upon being asked for assistance in a demonstration, she leaps to volunteer before realizing that it didn't make that Lockhart joke lightly. Yep, this idiot brought a Grimm to class. Those dangerous creatures whose sole existence is to exterminate ours. And he brought one to show and tell.
Though, to be honest, if anyone could control these beasts, it would be this guy. As for what happens next, well, we gotta pop in the next episode to find out. Because after episode 8, it turns out that Rooster Teeth's now back to chopping the episodes into 2 to pad the runtime. Conan, roll the clip.
Next. Okay, back in the class, Weiss readies herself as her teammates cheer her on.
Go Weiss! Fight well! Yeah, represent Team Ruby! Ruby, I'm trying to focus. Oh.
Well, apparently Weiss is also annoyed that their team is narcissistically named after their captain. Professor Port releases Edgar, and the fight begins. But Weiss finds out that taking the beast head on with her dainty figure isn't going to work, and she vents her anger towards Ruby.
Weiss, go for its belly! There's no armor underneath! Stop telling me what to do!
Mammal swine, use spin attack.
Finally, Weiss remembers, oh yeah, I can use magic, and kills the beast. The class is dismissed. Professor Lockhart steals Mad Eye's catchphrase,
Stay vigilant.
and Weiss storms out. Ruby goes to confront her teammate, and the two once again begin to bicker. Weiss is obviously upset that Ruby got to be team leader despite her lack of skills and training.
Back in the forest, you acted like a child, and you've only continued to do so. What happened to all the talk about working together? I thought you believed in acting as a team.
Not a team led by you. I've studied and trained, and quite frankly, I deserve better. Ozpin made a mistake.
Then somehow Ozpin appears behind Ruby, without Weiss noticing.
Is she right? Did you make a mistake?
Well, maybe. I've just been winging things. No, of course not. A 16-year-old girl with little to no training and likely still in that awkward hormonal phase should totally lead her team of college-age girls.
Okay, little disclaimer here for anyone who hasn't seen the show right now, but what follows next is one of the best character building moments of this volume. And while I'm going to try my best not to ruin or spoil the moment for you, I seriously suggest you going and watching this for yourself to get the full feel of it. Okay? Okay. Spoilers! Ho!
Next, we see Weiss walking up to Professor Port to brown nose some more.
Professor Port, I enjoyed your lecture.
Told you she was a teacher's pet, but Port notices that something's up.
Dear girl, confess to me your strife.
Jeez, dude, chill out. Look, I know that they're hot anime girls, but you're like a 50-year-old man, and for some reason our culture isn't down on that. Either way, Weiss explains that she feels that she should have been the one to be the leader of Team RWBY.
That's preposterous.
I agree with him, Weiss. Given your initials, there's just no way that you can write out your team name that wouldn't sound stupid. We then go back and forth between the Simple Souls and the Fame and Fortune ships, as each explains to their student that this is what the writers wanted. Weiss is told that she is a rich girl who has gotten everything handed to her on a silver platter, and while she's proficient in battle, her temperament and attitude clearly shows that she has some growing up to do and is not the right choice for a leader right now.
Ruby, I've made more mistakes than any man, woman, and child on this planet. But at this moment, I would not consider your appointment to leader to be one of them.
Ruby is told to be strong and that she needs to learn to be an example, not just to her teammates, but to everyone around her. For a leader is not simply just the man in charge, but someone we can look up to and respect, and puts their team first.
the outcome did not fall in your favor. Do you really believe that acting in such a manner would cause those in power to reconsider their decision? Hone your skills, perfect every technique, and be not the best leader, but the best person you can be.
You've been burdened with a daunting responsibility, Ruby. I advise you take some time to think about how you will uphold it.
The white rose grows.
Shut up!
Back in Team RWBY's dorm, we get a quick little shot of Yang sleeping. Aw, isn't she cute? Before cutting to Weiss waking up RWBY. Hey, payback's a bitch, bitch. She then asks RWBY how she takes her coffee.
How do you take your coffee?
Don't.
Answer the question.
Cream and 5 sugars.
Damn, girl, would you like some diabetes with that coffee too?
Weiss then explains that she's gonna try and believe in RWBY's ability to lead, and apologizes for her recent behavior.
Good luck studying. That's wrong, by the way.
In her own way.
Hey, Ruby. I always wanted bunk beds as a kid.
That's not really revelatory, Weiss. Most of us wanted bunk beds as kids, either to encourage friends into sleeping over, or to pretend that we were kings of our own castle being stormed by the Beanie Baby army. Well, then we get one final shot of RWBY's pleased face at the knowledge that she's made a friend, before zooming out of the Disney castle as the episode ends.
And it wasn't a bad episode either. Sure, it was a bit short, and yeah, we really didn't get much of a look into their lives in this school. And yes, it did seem that the conflict between Ruby and Weiss was a bit contrived.
Hell, if you look into some of the other reviewers of this show, very few of us there are, you'll notice that a good deal of them not only hate Weiss, but felt some particular anger towards a seemingly forced conflict between her and RWBY.
Maybe it's the same idiotic dicks who hate the white rose ship.
However, whether because they just didn't see it or some better than most of them, I think they're confusing who Weiss has been presented as with the cliche bitch that we usually get in shows.
Usually bitches in shows are just there as an annoyance, or occasionally a proto-antagonist, which sometimes can make their presence a bit more bearable. And at first, it seems like Weiss is just like that as well, making her irritation towards RWBY both unexpected and uncalled for, especially since RWBY is so nice.
But that's just it. RWBY is simply nice, and apart from having the potential to be a good leader, she really doesn't have anything that makes her qualified for the job.
But then again, if fraud and racists were allowed to run and you idiots still voted for them.
Oh God, you had to go political. Well, at least no one posts comments on your videos, or it'd be a shit show down there.
If you remember Weiss's past and what has been said about her, it's understandable why she's upset. Being of such high birth, on one hand, Weiss has likely had a lot just given to her. So this is probably why people feel that she's self-entitled to the position of team leader.
However, on the other hand, it's likely Weiss has been told this before, because over the volume she has constantly made references to how she and others have had to work their way to Beacon. So it's sort of understandable why she had expected to be the one chosen, not this young, untrained teen.
But a good leader isn't simply the strongest or the most trained, something that both Weiss and RWBY had to come to understand. And while the beginning of the argument was a give or take with most of the audience, a lot of people do agree that the ending was really good.
Lindsay Jones and Kara Eberly, the voice actors for RWBY and Weiss respectively,
Have been getting really good as the show has gone on. So when it came down to Weiss's apology, many, including myself, agreed that it was a wonderful and simple scene. It didn't need a long interaction, nor did it need any somber music as one of them tells the other of their prolonged backstory of how Daddy never loved me. It was perfect the way it was, and I'm glad that Rooster Teeth didn't go the other route.
I've said it before and I'll say it again and again. Rooster Teeth knows how to make good characters that seemingly start out as cliche dudes, but then they use that as like a stepping stone to give us a good foothold as they unload deeper and deeper characterization of these guys until we no longer see them as just fictional characters.
For some, I'm sure that's a bit too easy.
So yeah, while this episode wasn't very long, and the fight did seem a bit contrived, it was almost more than worth it just for those few minutes of character growth.
We're still just over halfway through the volume, but I can honestly say that I'm looking forward to see what they do with these characters, and that I hope that Rooster Teeth handles them very carefully. So until next week, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. With me, normally sacred, no videos say, but all deserve a chance. Catch you guys next time.
Toodles!
Doc, are you telling me that it's 8:25?
Precisely.
Damn. I'm late for school.
Hi guys, hope you enjoyed the review. If you didn't, well, no refunds. Anyways, no, just a little announcement right now is that we are coming to the end of Volume 1, and just like I did with the RWBY trailers, I'm going to have my final thoughts about Volume 1, just a little video where I'm pretty much just like this, where I just give my final thoughts, what Volume 1 was like. It's the good things, the bad things, the things that I really enjoyed, and the things that, well, I thought could have been done better. But either way, after that, what I'm planning on doing is releasing just a little video, because since I just got started on YouTube, I thought, yeah, I'm not really going to get that many subscribers, but we're only halfway through Volume 1, and I already got 100 subscribers, so thanks, guys. That means a whole lot to me. I know it doesn't sound like it because it's just like 100 subscribers. I mean, what's that? There are people who've got thousands, tens of thousands of subscribers, and they're still D-list YouTubers, but I've only been doing this for about like 3 to 4 months now. And 100 subscribers in that time, and the fact that I have not done any advertisement, I'm literally just here and letting you guys discover my videos, and to have 100 subscribers and have you guys watching me is mind-boggling. I cannot express my gratitude about that. But regardless, I thought I'd reach out to you guys, become a little bit more personal, and so a friend of mine, Ryan, he suggested that I do a Q&A. So pretty much from now to pretty much my final thoughts of Volume 1 video, I am going to be looking through all the comments, and pretty much all you really need to do is just write a question that you would like to ask me or my friend Ryan, who is an avid anime fan and really loves RWBY. We both actually got into it because of Rooster Teeth. We loved the Rooster Teeth. We loved Red vs. Blue. So if you like, just leave a little question down in the comment section. Just tag it with hashtag Q4Rich. Since there are 100 you guys are actually watching me, just shove a question down there. Hell, if you want to, shove 5 questions down there. It can't be crude, it can't be racist, it can't be insensitive, or it can't be too, like, inappropriate. But if you have a question, shoot it down there, and then me and my friend Ryan will read through the top of questions, which ones we thought were really interesting, and then I'll compile a video with him and post it probably sometime next year, sadly, because I'm literally working my butt off just so I can get you guys a video every single week. But it's worth it. I love doing this, I love RWBY, and I love you guys. So yeah, till then, write your questions. I'll be looking at them. You guys take care. So long.